Perry, baby. And thank you for that song, Sketchbook with Your Band. Welcome, everybody, to the Hugs Not Drugs podcast. I'm John Barleycorn. What is the Hugs Not Drugs podcast? Well, it's for motivated people that get better, even healthier than they are right now in recovery, by listening to the podcast and getting good information, good education, and we'll have a few laughs too. And I'm here with the spiritual entity, Hugs Not Drugs, and also the anti-spiritual entity, Dr. Uggs. Say something, Dr. Uggs.
Yeah, don't you worry about it, okay? Nothing you can say is going to upset me today because we're talking about something that is near and dear to me, aversion therapy. And aversion therapy is something that is very therapeutic.
Yeah, very therapeutic to Synanon, huh?
Oh, you're going to talk about Synanon already? Let's wait. The topic will be Synanon and the creator of Synanon and stuff like that. But why don't you let me do the commercials first and get that out of the way so we can just go straight through?
Gosh, Barleycorn here. That is a very good suggestion.
Like I said, I'm really pumped up about this one. Aversion therapy. Nothing better.
Okay, we'll explain that later. Go for the commercial.
Hugs Not Drugs here, doing the commercial. John Forlenza-Bailey is sponsoring this podcast, the Hugs Not Drugs podcast, and he's written 2 books. The latest one is called The Transformation of Dr. Uggs, and that's an original story that explains progression of the disease of chemical dependency. It's not intended to be a story about blaming others for the acquisition of an illness. This story is intended to explain, not to blame. It is a story of discovery, insight, acceptance, and finally, right choices to live drug-free if one is chemically dependent. The other book that he wrote, and it's kind of like for treatment, it's a poor man's treatment. All you need is a mentor and you being motivated for substance abuse recovery. It's hard to get out. Say that 3 times. The book is the Road to Wellness Workbook, and it's designed to provide education, emotional support, and inspiration to persons suffering from addiction. It offers step-by-step lessons to people striving to turn their lives around regarding abstinence, relapse prevention, family dynamics, and self-assessment to continue to discover self day by day. Recovery's up to you. Mentorship help, journals help, but you must exchange and surrender destructive behaviors for constructive ways of handling the day-to-day stressors or triggers of life. No one deserves to continue to suffer from active addiction. Get better, do the work. And we are finished with the commercial, and back to you, John Barleycorn.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hugs Not Drugs podcast, where we take deep dives into recovery, history, psychology, and the wild stories of how we got here.
Dr. Uggs here. We're here to educate you, entertain you, and gently roast the worst ideas humans ever passed off as therapy.
Hugs Not Drugs here. Hold the phone. We're not doing that. That's not what this podcast is about. I'm out. You guys can do this yourselves. I'll do something a little later. Barleycorn here. Got you, Hugs Not Drugs. We don't mean to offend you, brother. But this is a very important thing, we think. So we're going to do it. Hugs Not Drugs here. Go for it. I'm out. Not spiritual for me. John Barleycorn here. Synanon,
The rehab that started with hope and ended with shaved heads, confrontational screaming matches, and several felonies. All right, let's get back to basics. What is aversion therapy?
The short version is, it hurts good, then stop doing it.
Barleycorn here. Behavioral Conditioning 101. Make the thing you want to stop unpleasant.
It's like every time you ate junk food, someone slapped the fries out of your hand and shouted, "No."
Barleycorn here. Actual historical examples. Electric shocks, chemicals that made you nauseous, forced overuse of substances, loud confrontations, humiliation, shaming, therapeutic bullying.
And guess what? It kind of works like for 10 minutes. Short-term behavior change, 0 long-term emotional healing.
Barleycorn here. Because trauma isn't treatment. Fear isn't compassion. Shame isn't medicine.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Barleycorn. All right, Dr. Uggs, let's talk about the man behind Synanon movement, Charles Chuck Dieterich.
Let me be his voice, okay?
You got it.
Tell me this isn't a cult founder.
Right. So Chuck grows up in Ohio, loses his father early, battles alcoholism most of his life.
He eventually gets sober through AA, which is actually awesome.
Barleycorn here, totally. Sobriety saved him, but he had a vision.
Do you think it was a spiritual awakening?
More like what if I ran AA and made it 10 times more intense awakening?
Dr. Uggs here. The old, if I can fix the world if everyone listens to only me moment. Classic.
He was charismatic and a brilliant speaker. He had the ego of a man who thinks he invented honesty.
Chuck Dieterich. They called him Daddy. They called him Dad. They called him Big Daddy. Which, spoiler alert, he did not act like a very good dad.
So in 1958, Synanon starts in Santa Monica, California. This is the positive part, the hopeful beginning.
Yeah, a lot of addicts back then had nowhere to go. Hospitals wouldn't take them. Doctors didn't treat addiction. Families were terrified.
Synanon became a refuge. You live there, you help each other, you stay clean together.
Community, purpose, support, honesty. These parts were great.
They pioneered ideas we still use in treatment today. Structured sober living, pure accountability, communal healing.
Like if Synanon had stayed this healthy, I'd be on this show saying, let's talk about this beautiful historical community.
But no, things went very, very Synanon.
Oh, here we go. The game.
Imagine group therapy. But instead of healing, you get roasted nonstop. That was the game. Someone would tell their story like they do in AA, but then they get roasted afterwards. And it could go on for hours.
Yeah, 4 hours of emotional WWE.
The idea was honesty, vulnerability. The reality was social pressure, yelling, and psychological warfare.
Someone would say, hey, Bob didn't do the dishes, and suddenly Bob is got a 40-person courtroom drama about his soul.
And here's the kicker. They believed that this was good for them. Look, I'm all for accountability, but if the treatment involves people screaming at you until your ego dissolves, that's not therapy. That's a rave gone wrong. This is the Synanon turned dark about 1970. This is the part where the mood shifts. Synanon becomes more and more controlling, more isolated, more intense. Signs of a cult everywhere. No outside contact, sleep deprivation, forced confessions, uniformity, shaved heads. You're either with us or against us philosophy. Yeah, then came the big red flags. Mandatory divorce, forced vasectomies, yikes. Violence against outsiders. And of course, the rattlesnake incident. Yes, a lawyer who sued Synanon opened his mailbox and found a rattlesnake inside. Imagine being the snake. Sir, I did not sign up for this. Eventually, law enforcement catches on. Diedrich is arrested in 1978. Synanon collapses. So what's the takeaway from this? A rehab program had become a cult real fast when you combine untreated trauma plus a charismatic leader plus yelling as a treatment model. And healing turns into control. People get hurt. Yeah, when healing turns into control, people get hurt. So what did we learn from Synanon, Barleycorn? That recovery, can you say that word again? That recovery requires compassion, not coercion. That shame is not a strategy. That yelling is not medicine. And that, I hate saying this, that hugs, not snakes, not screaming. Hugs are the real path to healing. Connection, love, support. That's how we grow. That's how we stay sober. That's how we take our power back. That wasn't so bad, was it? Hugs, not drugs? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Thank you for listening to the Hugs Not Drugs podcast today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it, and send to someone who needs a laugh and a little history. You're up, Harry. Let's take us out. If you enjoyed this show, share it with other people, like Hugs Not Drugs said. And thanks for being with us, Hugs Not Drugs. After all, that's the name of the show. That's the name of the podcast, the Hugs Not Drugs podcast. And it was a little scary for me. I didn't think you guys could pull it off, but you did. Peace out, everybody, and don't forget to love somebody. Take it away, Harry.